South. Brought to you by Buy Fresh Fashion at yepme.com.
Time to know all that happened in South India today with me, T.S. Sudhir on Up South, and we start today's show with a heartwarming story from Bengaluru, quite literally. In fact, today was the day when both Bengaluru and Chennai came together to ensure that the life of a critically ill patient in Chennai was saved. The Bengaluru Traffic Police and the Civil Aviation Ministry worked in tandem to ensure that they could transport the heart of a 2.5-year-old child from Bangalore to Chennai in a matter of 3 hours. The child had passed away yesterday, and based on a request from Chennai for an immediate transplantation, the child's parents had the big heart to give life to another child in Chennai. Traffic came to a standstill for a period of 1 minute 20 seconds in the afternoon from Manipal Hospital to HL Airport on the old airport road in Bengaluru, a distance of about 2 kilometers, and the heart was then airlifted to Chennai.
So this request came to us today after 10 o'clock or so from Manipal Hospital for shifting of heart of a deceased baby, 2.5-year-old baby, and accordingly we had made proper arrangements, and after 1 p.m. Once the hospital authorities were ready, we escorted the ambulance carrying the heart of the deceased baby from Manipal Hospital to HL Airport, where an air ambulance was waiting for it. And this entire movement took us about 1 minute 20 seconds. Of course, the distance is very short, about 2 kilometers, and en route, whatever junctions were there, we had deployed sufficient manpower to ensure that the ambulance moves without any stoppage en route.
Joining me now from Bengaluru is my colleague Pratibha Raman. Pratibha, what is the news that we have from Chennai? Is all well with the patient in the Chennai hospital?
Well, the surgery is still going on, Sudhir, and it would take at least about an hour before the surgery is completed. But what is stunning about this is the fact that the various departments have worked with clockwork precision so that the mission is successful, because 1:35 p.m., if you note, Sudhir, the heart left Manipal Hospital in Bangalore, and it reached Chennai at about 2:10 p.m. to be precise. And 1:35 p.m. was when the doctors in Chennai had already begun the surgery so that the heart would reach just in time for the transplantation to begin. And it took roughly about 8 minutes from the Chennai airport to Fortis Mallar Hospital, and without the coordination of the Chennai Traffic Police, the Civil Aviation, as well as the Bangalore Traffic Police, and that becomes the heart of the matter, literally. Sudhir.
Right, Pratibha, just curious to know if those stuck in the traffic knew the reason why they were stuck, and that it was not because of some regular VVIP movement.
Well, Sudhir, in this particular case, the time taken was very, very short, because in Bangalore, if you note, it was just about 1 minute 20 seconds, and it was a stretch of about 2 kilometers. So before the public could realize, it was already done. And in Chennai, they had taken an alternative route, which is the outer corridor that was taken. So before people could really realize that they were made to wait, it was already over. So this has been the shortest time taken so far with regards to transportation of an organ from one city to the other, or from one state to the other, because the last time when it was done, it took roughly about 2 hours, and in this case it has taken just about 45 minutes. Sudhir.
Right, Pratibha, thanks a lot for joining us there from Bengaluru. A heartwarming story indeed, and we do wish the child in Chennai a speedy recovery. News now from Guntur district of Andhra Pradesh, where an 8th class student has been allegedly raped by her hostel warden. This happened at the St. Mark's Children's Home in Ponnur Mandal of Guntur district. The warden, K. Jayaraj, is also a part-time pastor at a local church. There were about 30 students, 13 of them girls, at that particular hostel, and the parents came to know after the girl fell ill and refused to go back to the hostel. Jayaraj had reportedly raped her twice this month.
హై స్కూల్లో చదువుతున్నాను. గత 15 రోజుల నుంచి ఇలా జరుగుతుంది. తల్లిదండ్రులు చెబుతానంటే భయపెట్టి.
అతను ఎవరమ్మా, ఏం చేస్తుంటాడు?
అతను హాస్టల్ వార్డెన్.
పిల్లలది ఏదన్నా బండి ఎక్కపోతే కొడతాడంట, చంపేస్తాను అంటున్నాడంట. పిల్లని భయపడుతుంది బాగా ఇవ్వటానికి.
News now from Kerala, and we are asking if the Kerala UDF government is actually diluting its policy on prohibition, which it had announced with great fanfare. In fact, the UDF now seems to be slowly rolling back its entire policy on prohibition. It has now decided at its cabinet meeting that 418 licenses will be issued to open up beer and wine parlours in Kerala. And if standards are maintained, up to 700 bars could actually get beer and wine licenses in Kerala. So what it means is that these 418 bars, which were shut down a couple of months ago, can now sell wine and beer instead of selling hard liquor. Chandy also admitted that the dry day policy on Sundays was a failure, since the Beverages Corporation saw a 60% jump in sales on Saturdays.
നേരത്തെ ബാർ അനുമതി ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നത് കൊണ്ട് ലൈസൻസുകൾ പഴയതിന്റെ തുടർച്ചയായി കണക്കിലെടുത്ത് തുടർ നടപടികൾ സ്വീകരിക്കും.
അതായത് 418 ബാറുകളും കൊടുക്കും അല്ലേ?
അല്ല, പിന്നെ അതുപോകും. ഇന്നിപ്പം പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന മറ്റു ബാറും നമ്മളെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം അതിന് ഹാർഡും ലിക്കറും പാടില്ലെന്നുള്ളതാണ്. ആ നിലപാടിൽ തന്നെ നമ്മൾ ഉറച്ചു നിൽക്കും. ഇന്ന് കോടതിയുടെ തീരുമാനത്തോടു കൂടി നടക്കുന്നുണ്ട് 312.
അത് ഹാർഡ്
ലിക്കർ പാടില്ലെന്നാണ് നമ്മുടെ നിലപാട്.
Joining me now from Bengaluru is my colleague Rohini Swami. Rohini, the decision to impose prohibition in Kerala was not merely an administrative one, it was also a political decision. What is happening politically within the UDF that has forced this kind of a partial rollback and dilution of the prohibition policy?
Well, the Kerala Chief Minister, Mr. Chandy, is definitely buckling under pressure of the UDF and the allies who support the fact that liquor should continue being served in Kerala. For the simple reason that the fact that when he was talking about prohibition, he got caught in the crosshairs of a lot of other allies in the party. Now the point is being made is that beer and wine parlours will be allowed. We know that the excise minister was absolutely against the fact that there should have been a total prohibition in the state. Now we see how slowly the whole liquor policy, which was towards making Kerala a dry state, is getting diluted. Now definitely this is a political move, because at one point of time, Chandy cannot be the crosshairs of those people who are a part of who are his allies. So here it is that very clearly the fact that when he went around till almost last month, when the Chief Minister of Kerala said that he is going to have complete prohibition of liquor, he is diluting his own policy and in his own acceptance that even dry days of Sundays in Kerala itself is a complete failure, because he saw a 60% rise in liquor sales on Saturday. So obviously there's something going wrong in the way the policy is being implemented.
So Rohini, what are likely to be the reactions by women groups, because they are the ones who are actually hailing Chandy after he took that decision on prohibition? How do you think they are likely to vote, given the fact also that elections in Kerala are about 15 to 16 months away?
Well, they're definitely miffed. The Kudumbashri that we had seen who are hailing Chief Minister Chandy as soon as he announced the liquor policy, now they are miffed about the fact that this slowly we're seeing dilution. First, it was in the court, then we've seen how their 418 bars are now being given beer and wine licenses, and very soon 700 bars could also get licenses for beer and wine. The women organizations who were supporting Chandy and said he was doing a good job for the simple reason alcohol had destructed many lives, many homes in Kerala. Well, they are very angry about this whole thing. But yes, at one point of time, this is like a political move. The simple reason that they need to go to the people for votes, then they will have to do something about this policy. And definitely, the stand that is being taken by the Chief Minister is a way of convincing people that while he's trying to put the policy in place, he also does not want to trouble that vote bank who would possibly be a liquor consuming vote bank but will not vote for him. So he needs to see to the fact that the Congress party at least will have some face in the next elections.
Right. It's absolutely been a case of 2 steps forward, 1 step back as far as the Chandy government in Kerala is concerned on the prohibition policy. Rohini, stay on with us, because the BJP president Amit Shah is looking at south of the Vindhyas. In fact, he's touring Kerala and Tamil Nadu for 3 days this weekend. In fact, these are 2 states where the party, the BJP, is not exactly very strong. In fact, he's trying to motivate the cadre in Kerala to at least open the account in the assembly elections in 2016. And in Tamil Nadu, the BJP would hope to take advantage of the fact that both the DMK and the AIDMK are embroiled in all kinds of corruption cases. Rohini, the fact that in 19 of the 20 Lok Sabha seats in Kerala, the BJP polled 50,000 votes. This plus the RSS base in Kerala would give some hope to Amit Shah that they could perhaps do something to open the account in the 2016 assembly elections in Kerala. Is that the way you look at it?
Absolutely, for the fact that first we see Narendra Modi going and campaigning in Kerala, after which Amit Shah visits, and this is Amit Shah's second visit. The fact that the BJP itself is seeing a positive sign there, and the large RSS base. Mind you, Kerala has the largest number of RSS shakhas in the country, which could be a shocker, but that's true. And the kind of training programs they have. So Amit Shah definitely looking at now getting the RSS cadre together, the BJP cadre together, so that they can consolidate and look at elections when the Kerala is going into elections in 16-18 months from now. But more importantly, BJP is trying right now to at least open an account. Even for the Lok Sabha elections, it was a closely contested election, and with O. Rajgopal almost a forerunner, but yes, finally Shashi Tharoor did win the elections. But the point remains, BJP is now trying to open its account in Kerala very soon.
Right. Also joining me on the phone line is my colleague Shisha Reddy, who is in fact in Cuddalore in Tamil Nadu. Shisha, in Tamil Nadu, the BJP, after the release of the 5 Lankan fishermen from the 5 fishermen from Rameshwaram from the Sri Lankan prison, had actually been doing some tough posturing, claiming credit for the release of the 5 fishermen. Do you see political space for the BJP in Tamil Nadu, given the fact that the DMK and the AIDMK have actually always ruled the roost for the past 40-odd years?
Well, Sudhir, as far as BJP is concerned, yes, they have been trying to push themselves to create a strong base in Tamil Nadu. But, Tamil Nadu as a state will not forget that in the previous Lok Sabha elections, BJP was able to just get 1 vote, and the alliance managed to get 1 more vote. And having said that, there was a grand alliance that was portrayed in the last Lok Sabha elections with political parties like DNBK, PMK and Vaiko's party, who is right out of the party right now. But still, they did not manage to see that much of a vote bank. But this time, yes, Amit Shah is trying to put some sort of a posturing in place to see that BJP will be able to use this political vacuum in Tamil Nadu. Having said that, AIDMK and DMK is not in an advantageous position this time to call the shots. So, and also this time, significantly in this particular meeting, the BJP is also planning to keep its allies away, like the DMDK and PMK, because PMK also, along with Vaiko, we're making a lot of noises, be it the Sri Lankan issue or other issues.
Right.
So one has to wait and see what is going to happen in this meeting. Will BJP, take some sort of the political, line that they always wanted to do as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned.
Right. Right. Shisha Reddy and Rohini Swamy, thanks a lot for joining me on this very interesting story, interesting times for the BJP as far as Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Now, it's possible to keep your child safe both inside and outside school. Now, that's a big message that is being sent out by the Bengaluru City Police. And they are asking parents and school managements to invest in high-tech gadgetry. Pratibha Raman sent us this report.
Looking to keep your child safe? Then this identity card is just the solution for you. With an inbuilt GPS, this ID card allows the child to send an SOS alert along with a program to dial any 3 emergency numbers.
Another unique feature about this ID badge is that the moment you know your child is in danger, you can send an SMS to the server, which will automatically allow this device to place a call to your number, and you can secretly voice monitor the child's surrounding. The moment this card gets switched off, you will get an immediate SMS alert.
Stung by the less than cooperative response of many schools to the insistence by Bengaluru police that safety gadgets have to be put in place, this exhibition is one way to let school managements, parents and students know that investing in the right technology can help keep them reasonably safe.
You have apps, all of you have apps in your mobiles which tell you which is the best nearest restaurant which is available, which is the next spa which is available, but there is no app which shows which is the nearest police station which is available. So there is a huge possibility of improvement in that, and definitely technology is already available. It's just we have to start using it for our benefit.
The Bachao app is free to download. In one touch, you can alert a person with your message and location that can be tracked on a map. Interesting apps like this and cool gadgets like the ID card and a watch with location tracker have caught the fancy of many.
But I'm really happy that initiatives like these are being taken by companies also, and by, you know, the headquarters of every city in terms of the police and the crime branch and everybody who really wants to now create this sense of fear amongst the people who have this psychological thing of, you know, wanting to go and do these kind of criminal things. Because see,
it is that bachao thing, because when we are in trouble, first we can send a message that what we should do, and we are coming to the home, and if we face any trouble in the road, we can just press a button called bachao, and the people who are nearby, we can send them, and it is very useful for us.
For the better part of 2014, Bengaluru found itself on the back foot. Now India's Silicon Valley is showing the way to prevent the city from being dismissed as India's rape capital. With Pratibha Raman in Bengaluru, Bureau Report, Headlines Today.
That's it then on Up South this Friday evening. News and updates will continue.